Today, we're looking at quiet conditions throughout most of the U.S., so not seeing any delays at those major airports. It's going to be a beautiful day here in Indiana with slightly cooler temperatures thanks to a cold front moving in this morning. I'll have a look at your weekend forecast coming up.
An attack in an Egyptian mosque setting off a manhunt for suspects now. So far, at least 235 people are confirmed dead. Investigators say there were explosions inside that mosque and the attackers fired guns at people who ran away from the scene. They also reportedly opened fire on ambulances. No one has claimed responsibility for this attack, but investigators say it mirrors other attacks by ISIS. Egypt's president is promising to respond with this attack with, quote, brute force.
Officials are calling off the search for 3 sailors who went missing after their plane crashed into the Philippine Sea. This morning, a new Fox News investigation shows the number of U.S. troops killed in plane crashes skyrocketed in 2017. So far this year, there have been 22 U.S. military non-combat plane crashes flying routine operations, and this is up 38% from this time last year. And the number of American troops killed in those crashes has more than doubled. 37 service members were lost in plane crashes this year, more than 130% higher than last year. 8 crew members were rescued after that crash in the Philippine Sea. That plane was on its way from Japan to the USS Ronald Reagan. Investigators say they believe engine trouble may have played a role in that crash.
We're learning new details about the North Korean soldier's defection and his condition. He's a young man, just 24 years old, only being identified by his family name, O. And doctors say he needed 2 bodies worth of blood transfusions after being shot multiple times by his former comrades. He was rescued by South Korean and American soldiers while running across the demilitarized zone. North Korea has since replaced nearly all of the soldiers along its border with South Korea. For the first time in 37 years, Zimbabwe will have a new leader. Emerson Mnangagwa has been sworn in as the interim president, succeeding the founding president, Robert Mugabe. Mugabe resigned this week after he and his wife were granted immunity, allowing them to remain in the country. Critics say the African independence hero stayed in office far too long, becoming a corrupt dictator who ruined a once promising economy. Elections for a permanent successor are expected next year.
The FCC released a draft of its plan to repeal net neutrality. If that happens, internet companies will be able to charge you more depending on what websites you visit. Now, an FCC commissioner is urging people to, quote, make a ruckus over the changes. Jessica Rosen-Worcel wrote an op-ed in the Los Angeles Times. In that, she was urging people to reach out and to resist the FCC. Right now, you pay the same price for internet whether you're streaming Netflix all day or just checking your Facebook feed. If net neutrality is repealed, your internet provider could decide to block those websites or any others or just slow your service way down. Critics say the end of net neutrality would deal a huge blow to free speech online.
First daughters are taking to Twitter to defend Malia Obama. This after a video started circulating of her appearing to blow smoke rings in a bathroom. Chelsea Clinton and Ivanka Trump both came to the former first daughter's defense. Clinton tweeted, Malia Obama's private life as a young woman, a college student, a private citizen should not be your clickbait. Be better. Ivanka echoed that sentiment, saying she's a young adult and a private citizen and should be off limits. Malia is currently in a freshman year right now at Harvard.
3 Chicago area teenagers are being honored for saving a 1-year-old who fell out of a moving car. Here's the video. Police gave the teens a special award that is usually reserved for village employees. Here it is. The baby fell out of the car on October 30th. While the boys were in the car right behind that, they stopped abruptly to get out and pull that child from the intersection.
Reacted quickly. He applied the brakes, stopped in time. The passenger jumped out of the car, went to the aid of the baby in the roadway. There was another passenger, another young man in the back seat, who immediately got on the phone with 911 to get first responders on their way.
The teens say the child was hurt and crying. The boy's family came around, scooped him up and drove off, but the Good Samaritans followed that car to guide police to them.
Well, let's be honest. We all have at least one picture of us as babies crying our eyes out on Santa's lap. As adults, we're used to seeing him, but kids can be a little more hesitant, especially around ages 2 to 7, maybe. His red suit and long white beard, the big personality, the big laugh, maybe a little bit frightening for some kids. Well, others don't like the idea of someone who sees them while they're sleeping and knows if they're naughty or nice. Here are some ways, though, to lessen the child's fears. Don't force them to interact with Santa if they don't want to. Get familiar with the idea of Santa before the holiday season begins and talk to Santa one-on-one. Sort of explain your child's fears and give suggestions on what they might want to talk about. I might be able to. I have one of those pictures.
Of yourself or your
not
kids?
myself, but you know, our son is okay and smiling. Our daughter, she was younger. She was like,
Not having
just
it.
on his lap, and Santa's trying, but
And you're
you know,
laughing.
She was just scared, and I'm just like, ah.
Let me get a photo.
Okay, yeah, it's one of those things. Good times.
We've got Brittany Rainey standing by in the Weather Center with a check of a forecast. No tears here. At least that's good news.
Not yet. We actually get excited when we get to see Santa now at this age. We had some beautiful weather yesterday for Black Friday shopping. Temperatures were very mild, 59 degrees here in Indy, 58 in Lafayette. We are looking at temperatures still above normal today, but just a little bit cooler as we have this front moving through the state. It has now moved through Indianapolis, so our winds have shifted out of the northwest. They're going to be breezy throughout the day, and that's going to help keep our temperatures down just a little bit. Still looking at highs around 52 degrees this afternoon and then 49 tomorrow. And notice that we have a lot of sunshine this weekend, so it's going to be great for traveling in and out of the state. Live Guardian radar is very quiet. We're not looking at any rain associated with that front as it moves in, but it did bring some clouds to the area. We're already starting to see those break up right through central Indiana this morning. Clear skies back off to the west in Illinois, so it's another day to keep those sunglasses handy. We have a lot of blue skies on the way, and in the northeast right now, pretty quiet conditions. As this front moves in, they are looking at some precipitation throughout the weekend, but quiet conditions down into Florida, also right through the plains. We're looking at great travel weather extending back to the west coast with some rain heading over to the California coast, but we're not seeing any delays at the airports right now. If you're headed out or around Chicago, if you have any friends and family, it's looking great there. Denver also nice. Boston and down Tampa, that rain has finally moved out of the Sunshine State. And temperatures are a bit warmer as well, 10 to 20 degrees warmer this morning. 45 in Avon, 41 right now in Mooresville and Greenfield, as well as Noblesville. And we do now have that wind out of the northwest. It's going to strengthen to about 15 miles an hour, so just enough to give a little bit of a chill to the air. But with all that sunshine, it's going to be perfect if you're doing any Shop Small Saturday, if you're going to be out in those downtown areas. Looking pretty phenomenal for that. You can see the clouds that we have left clear out right around midday, and then a full sunshine for out the afternoon hours. And with high pressure moving back into the area for the rest of the weekend, we have clear skies overnight tonight. Will be a beautiful sunrise on Sunday morning, and then another day with those bright sunny skies, and we will continue this dry stretch with temperatures really surging to start off next week. But for today, 53 is the afternoon high in Fountain Square, 51 in Lawrence, and 50 degrees in Canby. Great night to check out the Circle of Lights. Breezy conditions, 48 at 6 o'clock. Temperatures will be falling down to the upper 30s around 10 p.m. And then tomorrow, we're headed out to Lucas Oil for the Colts taking on the Titans. Will be chilly for tailgating, and then seasonal highs in the afternoon hours. And now wait for it, Tuesday, there it is, 64 degrees, but then we'll finally start to see some cold fronts moving in later in the week. So that's going to bring a little bit more cloud cover, slightly cooler temperatures. We could even see a little bit of precipitation on Thursday. And then for the first day of December, we're going to see highs in the mid 40s.
And I'm glad you brought up the Colts game specifically tomorrow, because Jim Irsay tweeted roof window still to be determined.
Oh,
Yeah.
So
that's
Could be.
exciting.
Yeah.
Could be. Pretty nice for folks heading. We've got 3 high school games today, state championship games going on today, on into this evening. So it'll be nice for all the people headed down there
It
throughout
will.
today.
It's going to be great.
All right, Brittany, thank you. All right, Black Friday has come and gone, but an even bigger shopping day is just around the corner.
Just how much retailers are expecting to rake in on Cyber Monday.
And stocking up your kitchen for less will show you where you can go right here in Indianapolis to get your kitchen supplies and save some money in the process.